crazy PC scare just a few minutes ago. So basically, upon powering up my PC, I got this message that popped up about the hard drive not reading. I'm like, oh no, my hard drive. Like, I'm telling you, it's just my work PC. I use this thing for work. And I'm like, yo, the one thing I don't want crashing on me is my hard drive. We don't need hard drives crashing. Let me see what's going on. Here we go. All right. So, scary, scary, scary. First things first, my name is Kenneth Berber. Company is ILEG Technology Screens. And from time to time, we do some PC builds and repairs and all that stuff. So, I just got finished upgrading this machine over here, adding some new fans onto it. And, you know, we got these little cube boxes, they call them stick boxes, stick box PC cases. That are actually just made out of pieces of wood, and that's my flower PC over there. I got to do some trimming a little bit because I think which one's a little out of control. I don't know, but anyway, over here this is the one I just got finished doing, which I'm going to call the ice box. I don't know. I haven't decided the name on it yet. But anyway, so I wanted to go boot it up, and for some reason, the drive was not reading. And man, that's a scary, scary, scary situation to go through. When your drives don't read, hard drives don't read. Let me see. I think I'm gonna put that together now. What I wanted to do, some of that now. Why? Get it out of the way. But anyway, yeah, the hard drive wasn't reading at all, and I'm like, oh snap, man! I'm gonna have to either the hard drive's either not reading, or it could be the motherboard that's malfunctioning. It could be a number of things that's having issues. And it was basically between the hard drive and the motherboard. Well, the motherboard was reading because the motherboard was powering up all the parts. But I've had a motherboard power all the parts up and still have issues and still not connect. So let me see here. Hold on a minute. I gotta grab something real quick. Alice, man, Alice. What is it? You always put the needles in. That's interesting. Alice. Alice. That's crazy. What the freak, man? What the freak? But anyway, so happy it's working. But anyway, I need where's my box at? I got a box with all these screws in it I use for work. Trying to figure out what to do with that. I gotta stop covering my projector with my jacket. Where is my box? I have a box that put all my stuff in. All my stuff. Where is it at? My box of stuff that has my stuff. That's all my screws and everything in it. Trying to figure out where that's at. We need it. I have no idea where I put it at. Box with rocks and bolts. Let me see if we can figure out where that's at first, because I got some stuff, I got orders got to get done, stuff I got to print out. Yeah, I need my PC for that, to get that done. But yeah, God works everything out, and it's up and running, so I'm happy. But right now, I'm going to get that done. But first, I'm looking for something that I need here, and I got to buy tape too. Don't forget to buy tape. Where's the caulking at? We got to do some artwork on this thing. So yeah, that hard drive, man. I thought it was the hard drive at first. First I thought it was the motherboard. I'm like, oh shoot, not a motherboard issue. We just got that motherboard, and then found out that it basically was the hard drive. But we were able to fix it. The problem was hard drive cables. The hard drive cables were definitely had to be replaced. So these ones right here, I had to toss these. These are done. These are busted. And I had to replace it with a black one over there. All right, let me see here. I need my screws, but I'm trying to figure out what box would we put the screws in. Yeah, we just losing stuff here for the sake of just losing stuff. That's candy. I don't know what that'd be doing there. Let's see what's going on here. Let me see. I need something. Yeah, it would be these that would fit in there. So these will fit right there and okay, perfect. So I gotta clean my hard drive off. I know it's dirty. That could be another reason too. And I need another set of those. We do have those. We have them in a box somewhere. Now I just gotta figure out exactly where do we put the box at that houses those screws. And I gotta feed places today, man. Think. Where did you put the boxes for that at? It's not in there. It's no box. Not back there, not over here. Not that. That's not it. I think they would be here. It's stuck in somewhere. Oh, anyway. This looks quite a lot like I find it. Controller sitting on top of it. Got a smaller box with all the collection phones on it. I've got to find that. I need that to work. Look at the little box. All my stuff in it. All my screws and bolts. Everything's supposed to be in that box. I've lost the paper, the little pumps, the twisters, like that. I'm trying to track down what I did with the little box. It has all my stuff in it that I need. My screws and stuff are all in there. I can't figure out exactly where we put it at. I like to stay ahead of schedule. Find this box. I'm gonna put this, I always said I'm gonna put the box up, and then I'll put the box up somewhere, but I can't even find the box because I don't even know where that box is at. Mother George. Mother George. Sam Hill. Sheesh. What's the point of organizing if you can't find the stuff you just organized? Small little box. What's this? There's one thing there. That's nothing there. What if you have to place the screws on these things, man? We can't find that box. Are you kidding me? How do you do something like that? Alright. I'm going to have to dismantle the office. I'm going to dismantle everything in the office, put everything back together again, organize everything, so I know where the freak everything's at. I should never be going through this to find parts. All my stuff should be so I can see where it's all at. I just organized this place just a couple of days ago. That's what I have to do. Go through everything. Just spend a day. Here's my LED lights. Literally looking for these. Needed those. Yes, I couldn't find those. So where you put those LED lights? I can't find my LED lights. We need that right there. We need that. That can go back there. Just over here. Here. Get that there. Put that over there. That belongs over there. I don't know what the freak that's doing there. What is this? That should not be there. See, this comes from when I'm working and I'm tired, and I'll just start putting stuff anywhere. Because I figure, hey, I'll find it later on, and then later on, I don't remember where I put it at. Right, that's art stuff right there. That's all my paints and stuff right there. Because we need 3 more of those little screws to make this compartment for the hard drive to sit on. I think my fan's way too close on top of my hard drive. I need something to give it a bit of a buffer. And apparently, Mr. Bird lost a little box that involves the screws needed for such and such and such. Unless I emptied them out in another box to make room because I had too many small. Oh yeah, that does ring a bell. I did. I used that box that you built that house over there. So that means we put those screws in another box. That's why we can't find the box, because the box is actually right there in the probably in here. The box is right over there. We cut it up and used it. Huh. Mystery salt. Mystery salt. Dallas. Man. So many of my friends I bump into are Dallas fans from time to time. I'm like, Dallas. How? How, Dallas? How? I can accept it. I'm good. I got Dallas. A few friends of mine are Dallas fans. I don't think I'll tell them the story about the old Dallas jersey incident. That one doesn't go over too well with some people. It really doesn't. That's a good way to sever a friendship. We didn't sever it. We're still cool at the end of the day, but still, it's pretty funny. Well, he didn't talk to me for a month. I'll tell you that much. One of my best friends. He speaks to me for a whole month. He's mad. Next time you want to talk trash about my birds, you know what I mean? Prepare for the vengeance. It was just funny. Oh, it was funny. It was petty, but it was funny. Oh, it's funny. Okay, let me see. Can we use these? Will these work? Will these work? Can we use these? No, they're Frankenstein. It's only those that fit in. Only have 2 boxes that carry screws. I'm so glad about that hard drive, man. God is good, man. Because usually if that was what I thought it was, oh my god, I got my stuff backed up, but still a freaking headache. I got so much to do today. I kind of have time to be dealing with that. That's the beautiful thing about it. Oh, we need these right here for the pipes for the steam pump. These would be great. So we're going to take toilet paper, dispenser roll holders, and convert them into metal pipes. I'm out on the bench shop. What are you doing today? Out on the bench shop. I was just talking about telemarketers, man. Somebody just called me about insurance about a few minutes ago. I'm sitting there working on this PC trying to figure out exactly what's going on, how to get this thing to run. And right this week, I'm going to talk to you about insurance. This is not a good time. Thank you for the support on the PC build over here, the one we did over here. I appreciate that. I do appreciate it. Thank you. I do apologize. I don't say thank you enough for people coming to support our videos. I do apologize for that one. I'm sorry. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Coming in views. Some people think at the end of the day it's the likes for us. No, it's actually the views. The more people that view it, the more people that see it. I'm trying to get exposure. So that's why I got that advertising company, which I literally thought I lost the grant on that, but I didn't. They want to do business with us because they like the technology we showed them. I had to go down there to the office and bring down the visual screen, the black technology, and the projector and everything. I had to give them a presentation. And they liked it. You know. I think when I first, basically, I don't even know how they'd even tell you the truth. We've been here longer than they have, so I don't know. But anyway, I can that's where we can chalk it up. The base is just all hatred and jealousy. That's what it comes down to. Because again, we've been around longer than they have, and if we haven't been able to back our stuff up now, there's no way in the world we've been able to back it up then. And we had major contracts under my company. This is the reason why at that particular point I don't do contracts anymore, because you live and learn in business. That's why. Ooh. No, I'm not going to use anything. You live and learn in business, this is why. They're not going to have contracts now. Like, I don't know. Contracts for me is a big question mark right now. So, I don't know about that. Because, again, I'd rather control it all myself. The reason why I'd rather control it all myself, because, you know, I've been through some stuff with contracts. It's just not for me. It's not. I've had too many problems with them. Way too many problems. People do stuff, and I don't got time for that. I don't want to be bothered with it. You learn from experience. You do. You learn from experience. That was one of the things I wanted to do. I was going to stay online and market my product, and then have somebody distribute our product offline. And there was just so many headaches with it. Oh my goodness, there's so many headaches. And it just got to the point like, you know what? I'm just doing it myself. And that's how we end up doing all the advertising. Which is interesting because the advertising company that's advertising for a company, when the ad tech launches, ad tech is designed to advertise for advertising companies. It's designed to give them an edge on advertising. Part of one of ad tech's capabilities is designing technology for trade shows. Because it has a desk, it has a table, it literally is a projection screen. It has screens that you can advertise with in Windows. And mind what the stuff looks like inside already. So it is designed to enhance advertising companies to be to sell better products. Which means the advertising companies we'll be doing business with will be buying our technology to improve their technology. See what I mean? AdTech has so many different ways you can do it. I've got it sitting right there. It's like I'm using it right now as a computer monitor. I replaced my monitor that's sitting on the floor over there. And actually, Taco has it now. I gave it to the cat, and I'm using this one over here, which is far more better. And on top of it, I like that whole see-through capability, that whole futuristic space. Oh, that's beautiful. And the image on it are gorgeous. And at that, I can take it outside and watch a movie off of it. So, right now, if I had a storefront, I can literally sit here, do some work off of it, take it, put it in the store, advertise off the store, through the store window, and then take it out in the park and watch a movie. Can you do that with your projection screen? There you go. That's what makes it such an advanced technology. It has so many different ways you can use it. And then as for basically expensive projectors, I can use the same 300 lumen projector that's sitting in my desk. I don't have to change up because I'm in a different environment to get a projector with higher lumens because the environment changes. I can use the same 300 lumen projector here, 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 and here. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. That costs people money. If I got to sit there and spend couple grand for a projector inside, and then spend more money for the one outside, and there you go. And that's what I said, the whole thing with the ability with that new gain that sits on that thing is ultra bright. So, yeah. But remember, for people who doubted my company at the end of the day, I sat right in the middle of the floor and made that statement. So they'll get mad when I sit there and remind about making the statement. But you guys were the ones accusing us, saying that stuff didn't work. I made that statement, didn't I? And first of all, my buddy says at the end of the day, oh, it's definitely jealousy. You know why? Because I've been in other locations. I have more customers than you guys at the end of the day. My stuff has been in more places than you have. You know how long I've been around? I have 14,000 videos on my YouTube account. So I've been around longer than you have. I've had more experience than you have. So for you to come in and say at the end of the day, you have a product that's better, and the fact that I've had my customer base from Digital Crystal Screen Paint wraps yours multiple times. Are you kidding me? So you can tell it's jealousy. So sit there and make false accusations that my stuff doesn't work when I'm sitting up there in a freaking office building, walking around and producing images, even outside through glass in daytime, tells you right there it's jealousy. If my stuff was such a scam at the end of the day, wouldn't that be an easy company to take down? Yeah, I think that would be an easy company to take down. So you guys were scams because we took you out quick. I got you to return your money, my money, back to my accounts. And some of them, they cried on the receipts. So you couldn't back your stuff up. We even sent you your own. Some people, we sent their own stuff to them. And they got to send it back to us because it doesn't work. That's why. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, it's jealousy, all jealousy, angry and upset and bitter because we have a product that works. And one of them wanted the product and he couldn't get his hands on it, which we know who that was. So yeah. Jealousy. That's what it was. Because if you guys call yourself competing with us in any way, shouldn't your company still be here? Or not? Because they don't work. The other guy, he claimed to have this black paint called the Series C's. You do know he canceled 13.8 million people out of the state of Pennsylvania for one person, which would be us. Because he can't back that thing up. You know it doesn't work at all, period. So yeah. Oh, I forgot, another 9 more states. Probably roughly, if you go back in there today, which I don't have time to go to the site today, who cares? But I'm guaranteed there's more people missing. Because I had several people contact me and tell me that he blocked them. They mentioned my name. They said, hey, we want to buy from Mr. Bird. And their state got removed. So how are you removing entire states and you call yourself a company at the end of the day? And you're removing entire states. That means you're not a company at the end of the day. You're not a business. You're a scam. The last thing a scammer wants at the end of the day is to be put out in a situation where he can be exposed. That's the last thing they want. So they're not going to try to push their product on that next level because they know there's a very high chance of being exposed. Oh man, I could do something pretty cool with this. I can build it. See this right here? What do you see when you look at this? Most people say it looks like a caliber of a 357. Yeah, you're kind of right on that. Or maybe like a minigun. This would make a perfect minigun for one of the Gundams I'm going to build. It's not going to be a Gundam. It's going to be a robot, a retro robot with a gun. It's going to be pretty cool. Whew. We have to convert the robot over there to a machine of war. The robot we want to be over there. We're going to use it. We're going to use it in our whatchamacallit, our steampunk build. We're going to steampunk that sucker. So you have to recode it, rust it, all that good stuff. How to rust something to make it look like it's been there for decades. That's the fun part about that. I like that. I like the aging process of things, the art of aging things. And then we show you at the end of the day that we can build something that doesn't have to be covered in corrosion. We can build a nice little cottage over there. Beautiful cottage over there. Do, 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 do. Anyway, that's our little cottage over there. Our little cottage world. Those are fun builds. We're going to be working on a windmill next. So windmill's going to be interesting. It's going to be windmill. We're getting to the castle. We're going to do a windmill with a nice little waterfall. It's going to be beautiful. I think I'm going to get into these builds now. This started from just basically building a design for a screen, but now it's started a new hobby now for me. So now I just want to build these medieval castles and stuff like that all out of cardboard. So we can do some pretty cool stuff with this. We're going to have some fun with it. Now, mind you, that has a world built around it, which means there is a system, like a box system. We're building around that, and we're putting a world inside of that with like real lightning effect and stars and all that stuff, sunset, the whole 9 yards. That's all going to come to life right there. So yeah, we're doing some pretty cool stuff. But the castle, yeah, I'm building me a castle with a dragon on the horizon. Our dragon's going to be made out of cardboard. You have to use your imagination. The imagination of cardboard. Alright, we can't find those whatchamacallits. I need 3 of them. Alright, so we did empty them out here. Where else would you have emptied them out in? Oh. On the road again. That one. If you like it, you like it. You don't, you don't. It's all up to you. Some people at the end of the day, you know what I mean, they push to get likes and all that stuff. Hey, if you like it, you like it. You don't, you don't. But either way, it's going to do what it needs to do. It's God's going to direct it where it needs to go. Is this thing plugged in? Oh, it is. Alright, we got 2 of them found. Which is weird. Yeah, a whole bunch of these. You get these backup ones, you get these longer ones every time you buy one of these little cooling systems. So we had bought 2 of them. So we definitely should have had Plenty of that. And we got to get all this done before the glow gets in. When the glow gets here, we got to work on the glow. If you don't know, don't keep it slow. Here comes the glow. All right, let me see. So, I guess we can work with 2. I can do 2. So I'm going to have to do it where when we put it on there, it'll have to be on an angle. As long as it locks in, it doesn't slide off. So this is 2 will keep it from sliding off. So we're good with that. We'll take that. Let me see if it'll fit first. All right, that works right there. And I remember I used to be listening to Guns N' Roses, and they swore at the end of the day that a white man was going to come walking out of that house, and there was a black man coming down there. Like, wait, you listen to? I said, yeah, I listen to everything. I listen to everything, all at the same time. Classical music, rock music, classic rock music, jazz, all of it. I listen to all of it. I listen to everything. Bluegrass. Oh my goodness, man, blues. Yes, all of it. Everything. I listen to everything. That's why the guy was cracking up and I was laughing because the guy over at in Julian apartment is like, yeah, Ken over there, he listens to everything all at the same time. Yep. Techno music, rave music, everything. I listen to everything. Only thing I don't listen to is that music today. I can't get into that stuff, man. The mumble rap, whatever that stuff is, I can't get your music. Your music ain't for me. Oldies, the classics, stuff like that. I like that. Frank Sinatra and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Dean Martin, all that stuff. Most likely I'll listen to that. Most likely be Frank Sinatra. Most likely. I like Frank Sinatra. You don't know Frankie, you don't know music. All that. Blah, 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 blah. When they call themselves the B word and all that. Oh, come on. My goodness. I don't want to listen to that stuff. They'll talk about this and talk. Yeah, it does do too much. Your music do too much. It does too much. From listening to rap, it's most likely old school. Run DMC, Curtis Blow, you know. See, the difference is when I was coming up, basically rap music was about dissing another person's bars at the end of the day. You know what I mean? About you this, that, and the other. You know what I mean? If it's about killing something, it's about killing your music. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Now today, y'all sing about murdering each other, man. Nobody want to be hearing all that nonsense in the car. Murdering. Women are talking about their private parts and all this stuff. And good gracious. Like, no. Ain't no way in the world. Nobody want to be hearing all that mess. Now, all of it like that? No, actually, I've seen some other guys come on here who kept it to the clean bars. They kept the music's beautiful. There's a couple that do some really good music. I do listen to. I do like the music, and they kept it old school, man. They kept it old school, but our music back in the day, we can literally understand what they're saying. I mean, literally, there were stories behind it, like Slick Rick, Prince of Bel-Air. They had basically music that you can literally learn from. Chub Rock, you know, treat me right. You know what I mean? But today, it's like somebody trying to sing opera underwater. I can't make out at that stuff. But some of the stuff I heard was actually pretty good because they kept it kind of old school. I forgot one of the groups. The music was really good. I mean, it had a storyline behind it, everything. If you got a good beat to it, I can literally understand what the freak you're saying when you're actually, whatever your bars are coming out, when you're doing it today. I can understand what you're saying. And it's clean. I'm good with it. But all that stuff about disrespecting and killing and murdering and women talking about their private areas and all that stuff, man, that's just, you already know. You wonder why your kids are psychopaths. That's why. They listen to that mess all day long. Don't get me wrong. In my era, we did have more like it wasn't the rap. It was the rock music. Some of the rock music was satanic. Because I know. I had a lot of white friends at the end of the day, and their record covers, I was like, what the freak? Like, look, you unfold it, look how it turns into a pentagram, and I was like, what the freak? And you see some crazy stuff. Yeah. Crazy stuff. But anyway, that's why I like classical music. Bum, 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 bum. Want to test your sound system? Get a real good sound system? Classical music. Because some of y'all just got nothing but bass, and it sounds dirty. It's supposed to be really high cleans, clean mids, and then that bass comes in nice and solid. If most of your music is boom, 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 that's trash. That's a trashy system. You're supposed to have clean highs. When I designed my sound system, if I dropped something, you hear that ding, 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 ding. This is before you got into all that digital era age. We had to do it with analog, with a 20 graphic or 10 graphic equalizer. This is when you had to adjust an equalizer to perfect your sound. Now the data don't even have it anymore. But anyway, yeah, classical music. Classical music will give you a heart attack. I mean, literally. Because they start off real low. It'd be low. So you'd be turning it up like, I can't even barely hear this. You turn it up like, okay, now I can hear it. But you don't realize that's the calm before the storm. So you'd be sitting there half going, dun, 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 dun. The buildup comes in. Oh my goodness, you're racing, trying to get to the radio to turn it down. Sounds like your house is having a freaking earthquake. It's going off in it. Yeah, it'll give you a heart attack. Because 1 minute below, next minute it's high. Like, what in the world? Dun, 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 dun. Bring out them kettle drums. Yeah, them horns. Yeah, I like classical music. Now, I listen to classical hip hop. I love classical hip hop. There's a guy who actually does it. He's really good. I've been listening to him for a while. So when I went to go pick up my flowers from my PC over here, I'm walking down the street, listening to classical music. My classical hip hop, got this big bouquet of flowers in my hand. Yep. What you about to do? Flower arrangements. What you about to do? Yeah, you should know that. I love classical music. I love it. I love it. Japanese opera. Oh, are you freaking kidding me? I don't understand a word they're saying at the end of the day, but you can see by the expression of the music that basically you can understand the entire storyline just by the music itself. Yes. So this winter, I'm going to be over there by the Music Center. They got the Nutcracker coming in, which I always go to see. I've seen Fiddler on the Roof. I've seen Amadeus. I've seen Wicked. I've seen a lot of them. All of them. I'm a big fan of musicals, all that stuff. Bum, 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 bum. One of the programs I want to have too is basically getting inner city kids into classical music. Classical music, the arts. I definitely want to have them learn polo. Yeah, they should know polo at the end of the day. Give them a better seeing things differently. That's what you want to do. You want to broaden their horizon to see things differently. You never know exactly what you could create at the end of the day. Or what they could do to figure out to push back into society. Children are an investment. You do know that, right? You have little investments in your home at the end of the day. that can do things to change the world. Take them to the art museum. Art museum is free. This is the best time. Kids' minds, at the end of the day, their imagination is at its peak. When you take them to an art museum, you never know exactly at the end of the day what you might spark off. That's why I have a lot of respect for these fathers and mothers who have their kids cooking and they teach them their craft at the end of the day. Kids roughly only like 6 years old can change out parts out of a motor. There's one kid that was about 6, 8 years old can actually operate what is it? He's operating a backhoe. He's operating a backhoe at 6 years old. There's another one that comes on, I think 4 years old, was driving the truck that her father on the farm. That's an amazing skill to teach your kids at an age like that. Kudos to you. 100% kudos to you. Fantastic job. Fantastic job. There's always something you can teach them. Always something you can teach them. Always something you can teach them. Always. Now I'm about to teach my sister's kids and her kids how to build their own gaming PCs. And do it for cheap. It costs a lot of money. So everybody thinks that you have to spend all this money to build a gaming PC. No, you don't. It doesn't cost much. There's these guys that came on that I learned from that showed me how to take the Dells, convert the Dells into gaming PCs. Man, that saved me a ton of money. Yep. Ain't that right, Taco Bear? Arr. Yep, saved me a lot of money. Go buy myself a Dell 9020. Go stick a freaking 1050 graphic card in there. Boom! Go gaming. Yep, they were right. It worked. Gaming on that baby. Somebody had one with a 4070 in it. A 47 runs a 47 graphic card. It'll run it with no problem. The only difference is you got to change out that power supply. That's all. Change out your power supply. The 4070, the graphic power supply that they have in the PC is 250 watts. Some are 300. The wide cases, the big boy cases are 300. The small micro cases are 250. But the only problem is that you only get like two SATAs with it. That's it. And of course for the motherboard, but they convert those basically into 8-pin, but you can get 8-pin to 24-pin to override that. But anyway, you can get adapters for that. You can get adapters that change your SATA into Molex or however way you want to do it. I've done it from RGB, all that stuff like that. You can convert them with different adapters. But if you want, you can just, if you got a full-size one, just take it out of case, put it into another case, and put another bigger power supply in there. Because Dells, the one thing that I like about Dells is Dells teach you how to modify your PCs. Because if you have to get around a Dell to run it, you're going to have to modify them because they make their PCs different than any other motherboard. And you will learn so many different ways to basically learn new skills on basically how to get that Dell to operate like everyday PC that works with the everyday parts. You'll learn all that stuff. That's why Dells are the best thing to learn on. The best thing to learn on. If you basically want to get into modifications and stuff like that, get yourself a Dell and convert it into a gaming PC. Now I said the easier ones to do is just get the low profiles like I have here. That's why I have those right there. Slap them in there, you're done. You can go in the game right from the door. As for, they'll play most games, a lot of games. They'll play a lot of games. But a 1050 will support a lot. There's a new game that came out called 2K KO. The graphic card it requires for that, I think it's a 9020 or something, the GTX 9020. Those are that's a 1050. A 1050 would run that with no problem. So a lot of these cards right here, that card would run a lot of games that you can play. Now, if you wanted to upgrade it, you can put a 4070 in there with no problem. Low profile 4070 in there will drop in there. You can play anything on a 4070. The processor for these right here, I think it's a 4970 i7 will run in that with no problem. That's more than enough to play. And the average PC for any gaming is using 16. The only time you're dropping into 34, 64, 128, 256, or a terabyte, which is good gracious insane, is that you're doing something like streaming. We have to have multiple applications and multiple windows. Now I do a lot of work on this one. This has 32 because I have a lot of windows I open up for work. So sometimes I'll have about 10, maybe 20 windows open up on the tab, or if you don't have the memory for it, it'll start dumping windows left and right, which means you can't open up an application for window because you don't have enough memory. That's what that happens right there. Just have to upgrade your RAM capability. But it depends on the board, because the board may allow you to do it. Now these boards right here are cheap. I got these boards for $37. So you don't have to spend a lot of money to build a PC. You don't have to break the bank to build a PC. You just don't. Now back in the day, before you had all these parts, you know what I mean, for everything was basically all solder this and solder that, yeah, those parts were kind of expensive. PC was a very expensive hobby. Now today it's not an expensive hobby. So, yep. When people sit there and say, oh, you gotta have this, no, you don't. What planet are you on? We're over here frosting a unit up, frosting it up a little bit, so it looks really good, and it fits in there. Because we have to do the whole paint job on here all over again, and we got to make it glow like a light bright, people, light bright, and we're using this to paint it with. Yes, paper is your best friend. Is your best friend. This has got to dry. All right, I'm gonna leave that there to dry. Clean up my hands again. This is why I gotta get some wipes in here. I'm constantly cleaning my hands off all the time. We get back to our house now, because every once in a while I gotta step away from a project, because I kind of get bored on it, and step away from that, work on something new, and come back to that, and get back and forth, and we do it back and forth. And we're gonna be adding our butterfly over here, because our butterfly goes in the dark. Those flowers gotta go back repainting again. So we repaint the flowers, repaint that over there, get that done. So we have that finished, and I still gotta put the rest of the grass. And we got to build a lake over there, because we have a lake we have to put in. Then we got now a steam pump PC we're building, because then we're going to build out the same structure we did here. Light bright. Oh, I remember that commercial Light Bright when it came on. I still remember that. The Light Bright commercials when the original ones came out. When all the original board games came out, I remember all those Steam commercials when they came out. You knew it was Christmas time when you started seeing Tyco on TV. You start seeing the Tyco racetracks come on TV. You knew Christmas time was coming up. Oh man, remember Everett's getting, man, the Sears catalog that had the Christmas toys in the background. The Christmas Sears catalog. God, I wish I'd have kept all that stuff, man. The Sears Christmas catalog had some of the amazing toys in the background, in the back. Man. I wish I'd have kept all that. Kept it. Yeah, that'd have been good memories right there. Radio Shack, I remember Radio Shack. I was so into Radio Shack. When my birthday came up, I didn't ask for anything. The only thing I wanted was a Radio Shack catalog. That's all I wanted. It's just a catalog. I like to look at all the cool stuff and technology and stuff that's coming out that I can build with. I went to Radio Shack for a lot of my builds. Now where do you go? Yeah, you go on Amazon and get stuff now. But I like going to Radio Shack. I like going there and talking to people about the stuff I was building and putting together. And they would share some of the cool stuff and stuff like that. Yeah. Radio Shack. Any nerds, go to Radio Shack. Well, I was a nerd. I was a nerd. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of being a nerd. At one point, people didn't want to be nerds. Now everybody want to be a nerd. Everybody want to be a nerd now. At one point, nobody wanted to be a nerd. Now everybody wants to be a nerd. But there's different levels of nerds. Did you know that? You got that whole Dungeons and Dragons thing. Well, they consider themselves to be nerds at the end of the day. And it's all different types of nerds. PC nerds, there's freaking anime nerds, there's all types of them. You know what I mean? Majority, most people want to be nerds. They do. They want to be nerds really badly. I found it interesting. I watched this show a long time ago. I don't know what it was. But these are three friends. They're all nerds. They're big time nerds. They went to freaking all different kind of cosplays and stuff like that. And there's a guy who bullied them all the time. He bullied them all the time. They had peace and they're fun and all, but you had to worry about that little bully at the end of the day. Which I don't understand. It's like one of them and three of them. I gotta beat the crap out of them. But fear does things to people. But anyway, yeah. But in the end, the crazy thing about it is the bully was jealous. Why was he jealous? Because he was a nerd also. He liked what they liked. He liked the stuff but he was too afraid to show that he was that type of person because people would make fun of him. He didn't want to be. He felt that they were considered to be weak when actually they were stronger than him. And in the end, he ended up telling them a secret. Well, actually, he caught himself doing something dirty to one of the kids. He put peanut butter and peanuts in his sandwich. He had a peanut allergy and almost died. And he was so upset and so sorry what he did and everything. Of course, his father was very upset about the whole thing, of course, and the parents. But he went there and he kind of confessed to the kid that the reason why he's so mad at them because he wanted to be like them. He wanted to be a part of the group. But he couldn't be because everybody looked at him differently. He was supposed to be this tough kid, and deep down inside, he just wanted to go to cosplay and he wanted to do Dungeons and Dragons and all, just like them. But he had this old reputation he had to uphold. And that's why he was angry with him. And the guy was like, well, why don't you just go? Just go with us. And in the end, he did go. He became just like them. See? That's why all this stuff like that hold me back. I just go do it. Go check it out. Go check it out. People don't like me in there. People want to make fun. I don't care. I don't live for you. Whatsoever. And when I came here one day, my it was wrinkled as I don't know what. I didn't care. I don't care. End of the day. She was like, you're going to pass an iron over this? I'm not doing that for you. I don't care. Who cares? Oh my goodness. It'll unwrinkle itself throughout the day. I like my wrinkled t-shirts. But anyway, at least we got that part painted, that's done, got that built already. Now we're going to go out and take care of some business. What time is it right now? Let me see. It was 9 o'clock the last time I checked. Got to be about 10 o'clock by now. Oh, it's 10:45. It's raining outside. You know what that means when it's raining outside, people? We get to listen to I'm Singing in the Rain on the Bluetooth speaker. And that's why we're going out in the rain. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I'm singing in the rain. Do 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 do. Do we carry umbrellas? No, never carry umbrellas. Why? Because I'm a man at the end of the day. I let the rain hit. No, I'm joking. I like carrying umbrellas. My hand's gotta be full when I'm carrying stuff. Let's see. All right, we need glue today. We need glue. Watch, I forget everything when we get down there. I need glue. Glue is something that I do need. Actually, I do need glue. It's the only thing I think I do need glue is glue. Yeah, we need glue. Alright, that's the only thing we need is glue. Crazy thing. Well, I'm glad the PC's running because I'm happy about that because that freaked me out, man. I was like, oh, no. I don't care if the other one doesn't run. This one, because again, it's a gaming PC. This is my work machine at the end of the day. This ain't gotta run. A small heart attack. It was a cable. Do 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 do. Bum 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 bum. Do 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 do. I tell you something. The cool thing about it is, not only with building, Lord bless me, but repair. I can repair my own equipment, which eventually, that's what I tell people at the end of the day. We were laughing about that one time on a forum site. Console Gamer came and he was asking questions about PCs and stuff like that, so we're helping him out. He wants to build his first rig. And I was like, well, he said, what about tech support? And he was like, buddy, you are tech support. And it's no joke, you are tech support. You are. Your games don't work. You can go to the community. Maybe the community can help you give you some idea, but you are tech support at the end of the day. That's what you are. the parts don't work, things don't function, you're tech support. You'll figure it out. But at the end of the day, this is what makes you smarter at the end of the day. You know how to fix your own rig. Because that's what you're going to have to do. You know what I mean? So you'll figure it out. And after a while, after you learn enough stuff and experience, you're on your own. You're good. It's like learning how to ride a bike. Sooner or later, the training wheels will go off and you're on your way, buddy. Yep, you are. No, you are tech support. What about tech support? You saw that? No, you are tech support. You'll figure it out. That's the one thing I tell people about. Look, it's nice to buy a PC. It's all great and all. But majority of most PCs you buy, they're going to skip one or the other. You're going to have a good CPU, good crappy RAM. Crappy RAM, good hard drive. Bad hard drive, the cheap hard drive, a 500 gig hard drive. What the freak going to do with a 500 gig hard drive? Yeah, anyway. But the hard drive is at the end of the day, you can go in and replace that at the end of the day. The only problem is when you replace the hard drive, you're not going to have an operating system on it, so you're going to have to load the operating system onto it. So you're going to format and then put an operating system on it. So just invest in an operating system because you're definitely going to need it quite a lot, especially every time you get one of those M2s. M2s don't come preloaded with the operating system, the OS on it. You have to do that yourself. But anyway, yeah, it's pretty easy to put an operating system in. You do it the first time, like, oh, that's it. That's pretty much it. Pretty much does most of it for you. And it goes in and finds all your hardware, sets everything up. You're good to go. You are good to go. But back in the day, you had to go find drivers. Remember the nightmare finding drivers? Especially Sony's. Good gracious. I hated Sony computers, man. Sony computers, finding the drivers on that was like trying to find a needle in a haystack. And then you had to be worrying about, don't go to the wrong site because then you might download a virus and knock your whole system out because it can be something. Oh, yeah. I remember that. Man, Dells are the most easiest drivers to find on the face of the planet. Anytime I bump into someone with a Dell, I was like, oh, this is my piece of cake today. If it was a Sony, I was like, oh, or any other machine, it's a freaking headache. Why don't you just go to the website and get the freaking drivers from there? Now that they're outdated, you won't. Oh my goodness, man. If they had an older computer, oh my God, I remember this one guy bought me this computer. This computer was so old, it had a floppy drive in it. It was a laptop. It was big. It was the size of a phone book. It was a big, thick phone book laptop, and it had a floppy drive, and it said more like a hard disk in it. And I'm like, what do you want me to do with this? I wonder if you can load Windows XP. This is when Windows XP was all the rage. And I was like, okay, that's what I'm going to do. We're going to get in our time machine, go back to 1980, and watch Tron and Beta. You're going to see if we can fix your system. I can't fix that. That's a relic. I bought it off of them at the end of the day because it's a relic. I can do something with it myself, but I can't update it. And it's like because it's old, it's a relic. Unless I do something like, what do they call those? Oh, goodness. I forgot the name they call those things now. The bills for those. They buy the old PCs, the old white PCs, the big towers, those old ones, and they strip them out and they put new PC parts in them. That's what they do. It's a name for what they call it. But anyway, now, since they call it that, them PCs are a lot of money now. They're expensive. All right, gotta clean my hands off. Screen's already loaded up over there. You can see my Pac-Man over there, my Ghost over there. Everything's running nicely. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed. I'm so glad that the Lord helped us to be able to fix this because, man, this is my main machine. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for your time. We'll be back in again because we got the cottage to work on. Got to glow that in the dark, and then we got to come in and finish the artwork for this thing over here, and then we got work to do over there to turn these sticks into a PC and this platform. So we got a lot to do when we come back in. So much to do, much to do, much to do. Till then, I'm going out in the rain and sing. Well, safe out there. Thank you for your time, and God bless.